Aspire is a conversational style of therapy that supports young people who self-harm or think about harming themselves.
It's delivered over 5 weeks, with one follow-up session a month later. When people aged 16 and older received this therapy, they felt understood by their therapist, and the therapy helped them understand and often reduce their self-harm behaviour. Feedback showed that many began thinking about self-harm in secondary school. So the University of Liverpool and others decided to research whether this therapy could benefit young people. 15 pupils from 2 secondary schools in Liverpool took part in this research project. They could ask to be involved in Aspire, or a trusted adult could ask on their behalf. Parents had to agree, but the young person had the final say about taking part. Almost half of the pupils involved said their thoughts about self-harming started in primary school. Others said these thoughts began during years 7 to 9. So what impact did Aspire have? Before starting Aspire, most reported self-harm thoughts in the past week. After the sessions, far fewer reported these thoughts in the past week. It was the same for self-harm behaviour. After Aspire, fewer people reported self-harm behaviour in the past week than beforehand. And when asked about the future, before Aspire, most felt likely to act on their thoughts of self-harm. After their therapy, they felt far less likely to do so. They were also asked how they dealt with their emotions. Overall, most used more positive ways to cope with their emotions after the therapy than beforehand. Young people were asked the same questions at the end of each therapy session and in their follow-up sessions about how they'd felt the previous week. Almost all the young people reported their mental well-being had improved after taking part in Aspire. They were also asked about their relationship with the practitioner who delivered their therapy. Most had a good connection from the start, which continued over the 5 weekly sessions and at the follow-up a month later. Feedback from the young people and their parents was positive.
I just expected it to be like a few questions and then go back to the lesson. But like, she worked with me around it and like, yeah, it just made me think differently of it.
So like, we'd mapped them out and we'd recognise when I could have like, not escape, but like get out of the situation early on, which I loved. It was really helpful to me.
And then, like the fact that I know I'm actually getting listened to. Yeah, I like it a lot.
I know for sure that she did understand some patterns, some triggers. That's what she told me. She kind of learned to observe some of these kinds of loops and patterns she falls into, and that's a lot.
I mean, she's talking a lot more. She's talking to probably her sister, not shutting her out, you know, having more of a relationship and talking about things.
The results from this small research project are promising. Young people felt listened to, understood their self-harm behaviour better, and were able to use more positive ways to cope with their emotions.
We're now planning a bigger research project to see if other young people benefit from Aspire.